All right, cool. So, welcome everybody back to Africans Talk Football Monday night. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. How are y'all feeling?
Great, man.
I'm
Fantastic.
fantastic.
Yeah, man. It was nice to hop off the international break. We were kind of just talking about it Saturday. I mean, at least over here in the States, we had games from 7:30 all the way to United playing Sheffield at 3 p.m. So it was crazy to have like a real all day footy fest. It was nice just to sit down on a Saturday. My first Saturday in a long time where I didn't have anything to do, so I really just watched football all day, American football and obviously soccer. Um, it was honestly refreshing. Like I haven't done that in a long time. I kind of forgot what it's like to have your weekends, but again, before we get started, just want to say thank you to everyone out there that has been, rocking with us from the jump, or even if this is your first episode, if this is your first season listening to us, we really do appreciate it. Like I said, we started to stream these episodes now on YouTube, and then they directly go up on the site. So, catch us when you can, if you can. Usually it's Monday nights or Sunday nights around this time. I know we had some interaction the last couple of weeks, which was pretty cool on the live stream. So it was dope to see that. And then obviously we're also on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. So yeah, so we get you a lot of content as much as we can, and with all the games that we had this weekend, kind of just wanted to jump into it. Primarily just start on Saturday. We had Liverpool versus Everton, had the Merseyside derby over at 7:30 a.m. I was honestly up for it. So the last few weeks or last few months, actually, I've been coaching rec soccer from three and a half all the way up to eighth grade. So it's my Saturdays from 9 o'clock till 3:30 are pretty much done. So by the time I get home, most of the football matches are done. I kind of just crash for 4 hours and then wake up sore, and then figure out what I'm gonna do that night. But Liverpool at 7:30. I was up honestly at like 7:15. It was crazy. It's anytime it's a derby match, you know there's gonna be something in it. And Liverpool, they look good, man. I know their goals came in the second half. It was kind of end to end, I would say, at least with that Liverpool match. But I don't know if you guys were able to watch that Liverpool match. Salah
Yeah.
finally looking like him. I feel like Salah is finally getting back to the Salah we used to know. Um, Last year was a little bit of a blip just because they had so many injuries. But nine matches in the league so far, he has 7 goals, 4 assists. He had 2 goals, a penalty, and then he also scored a little bit earlier against Merseyside, or in this Merseyside derby. Liverpool at home at Anfield, they're tough to beat. Salah seems to be back in his elite form. Kind of just recaps from Liverpool. I know we kind of asked this last week, and then we was also one of the snippets on our Instagram page. But Salam, I'll start with you. Do you think Liverpool can actually fight for a title race this year?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think they can. I think it's just a matter of how serious. For me, it's always about how seriously they take the other competitions. Um, I mean, Europa League, Premier League. I feel like they would more lean towards the Premier League, but I mean, I think they certainly have the attack to compete. So I don't see why not. Defensively, I gotta admit I was wrong. They're a little bit better defensively than I had anticipated, but yeah, I think last week or 2 weeks ago I said that they're one of the dark horses for me to challenge for the title, especially now that Salah's back. I think one of you guys said last week Salah has a new crew with him, so I mean, why not? I think it's just a matter of in the big games. I'm just not really sold with them in the big games yet. I saw them play. What was that, Chelsea? But since then, I haven't really seen them against like top competition yet. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, this team, like, I think I was the one that said that he has new people with him. He has a whole new front three, whole new front four, new midfield essentially as well. I mean, this team is back. I think they're back. I think this is a. I mean, we have like you said, a fresh set of legs, a fresh set pretty much a fresh team, a fresh front five. And these are guys who this is their first time putting on a Liverpool badge, and they understand the weight that it holds. And these are guys who, made the big club move, so they know that they have to perform week in, week out. They know the standards. They don't have, a hangover from anything really, and a lot of from the leagues that they came from, the team that they came from, and they kind of just have their eyes set on what's in front of them. So, like Salam said, I definitely think they're a dark horse. And I mean, they've been performing week in, week out. So.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't know what Klopp is doing with Nunez, man. I don't know if you guys notice. Anytime he comes in, it's chaos. I mean,
It's hectic, bro.
That's
Super
him.
sub every time.
That's him.
every time he
is-
comes on, I feel like they pick up a step or two. They're quicker. They're more. How do I want to put it? The attack is more aggressive. Like every time he comes in, and I don't know. I want to see him play more.
I agree, man.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to call him like a locker room guy because that's definitely not who he is. But I think just with his personality, you always see him smiling. You always see him kind of, peppy. I think he's that guy on the team that whenever he comes in, it's like, all right, like my boy's in now. Like, let's roll. You always have that teammate. You always have that guy on your team who you can kind of lean on, not necessarily as the best player or, he's always going to make an impact. But when he comes on the pitch, there's just that extra jolt of energy. And I honestly think kind of like Julian Alvarez, I think Darwin Nunez is that guy. Like whenever, you see him on the pitch, it's like, yeah, there's my boy. Like, let's roll. Like, all right, we got 20 minutes. Nunez. All right, let's go. And honestly, whether he starts or whether he subs, I can see the difference just in the team whenever he's on the pitch.
Yeah.
And he had his issues last year with scoring. This year, he's still missing a little bit in front of the net, but he's just he's gotten a lot better. He's definitely gotten a lot better from where we saw him last year. And I mean, it's always when he comes on the pitch, you have to watch out for him because he's quick.
Yeah.
He's linking up now. I mean, even the pass he had to Salah, he's linking up now. He's learning how to play off the ball. He's learning how to play on the ball a little bit better. He's a good player, man. It's crazy for you to have to see him for 20 minutes, fresh legs, in a Merseyside derby or when they're playing these bigger teams. It's I don't know. I think they have something there, and he's definitely their X factor.
I agree.
And it's like, and the thing with him is, it's not only that. Like, I think his personality on all of that adds to it, but it's also that man's work rate. Like his mentality and his work rate is also what boosts the team, because whenever he plays, that guy is balls to the wall every time. You don't have to second guess him at all. Kind of like how I think of Martinelli. Like Martinelli, when he comes on, he's balls to the wall, sprinting up and down all over the place. That's kind of how I think of Darwin Nunez. Like, and that's why we're in for him too. Like I watched this guy. Like this guy is very, very good. And I know he got off to a rough start last year, but that doesn't mean like just because just the way you start doesn't mean that's how you're going to finish. You know what I mean? And I think this is a perfect example of just him just putting his head down and grinding, kind of what he's done his whole career. And you're right. As soon as he came on, it's just you know that when you're playing and you see a guy come on, or you see a guy just going balls to the wall all the time, as a teammate, it kind of just makes you be like, all right, like this guy is going all over the place. There's no reason I can't do the same or do somewhat of what he's doing. You know what I mean? And I think that's that extra boost that Liverpool has, and it's a scary one.
What do you guys think? Salah got his 201st Premier League goals. Do y'all think? Where do you think you guys think you finish on the all-time list
for Premier League goals?
I don't know if he's beating out Kane.
Yeah, I don't know if he beats Kane. But bro,
I gotta look at the
yeah.
list.
I want to see what the list is. Right
I'll tell you. I mean,
you got Shearer, you got Rooney.
Shearer. I mean,
Henry is up there. Lampard is up there.
Yeah, I mean, you got Shearer 260, Harry Kane, Wayne Rooney, Andy Cole, Aguero. I mean, these guys are in the 184, 187. Aguero has 184. Lampard has 177. He's not in the top 10.
No way.
Yeah, he's not in the top 10.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's
So
not.
if he's not in top 10, he's definitely I don't know. It
Bro,
depends on how
Jermaine
many he
Defoe
has.
has 162. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Jermaine Defoe-
Nuts.
Bro, Jermaine Defoe.
So
For
Mohamed
Spurs.
Salah's at 12
Sheesh.
with 146. So
26.
if he's in 12th
Wow.
place, I mean, he'll catch Les Ferdinand. He's at 1.
Honestly, bro,
You said he's at 146
I think
currently.
So what? It was 200 for
Yeah.
Liverpool.
200 for Liverpool, I believe.
Probably like yeah.
All comps, yeah.
Or
So
this
right
might
now,
this might be a push, but if he really, depending on how long he plays, he'll probably be either at the most probably top 5 or like in the 6-7 range.
you think top
so right now,
Top 5
Michael,
is high. It's a push because Aguero's at 184, so that's a lot of goals that he has to score in the next couple of years, which I think he could do. But
I mean, that's
what I'm saying.
230
Top
goal
5's a
seasons.
push. Yeah,
I mean, he would need 30 plus goals this year and then at least 10, 15.
So right now,
but
you said
he has 2-3 years.
So
Yeah,
right
I
now
think he might be top
he's
5.
at 246 or 146, and Shearer was at 260. So let's go
it's
top 5.
goal involvement. So goals and assists combined.
Oh,
No, I'm
then
just
he'll
looking
be
at
there.
I'm just looking at goals.
Mhm.
No, just goals. If you're looking at
Yeah,
goals,
just-
I think he could definitely break the top 5.
He could
Yeah,
break
that's
the
what I
top
was
5.
thinking. Yeah.
Top 5
Yeah,
he
because
could break.
Aguero's at 184, and he's in 5th place. So he would only need about 38 more just to get to top 5.
I mean, how
I
long
mean-
do you think his prime is? Because if you think he could,
It doesn't matter how long his prime is.
Yeah, he
because
has
he's still
one
gonna
more
play.
in him. I think he has
He
one.
Bro,
has,
he got,
he has
in
a
him.
couple more years.
you think he has like if you think he could do it next year?
Yes,
Based off
I
of
think
what-
he
Probably
could
the
easily
last
score.
year. Yeah.
If you keep this team that he has right now, there's no reason that he
Mhm.
can't score 20 next
Mhm.
year. Easily.
I mean,
see
yeah,
20
he's on
goals.
he's
I
on
agree.
10s though too. Yeah, definitely. So like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he currently has 7 right now through 9 games. So,
He want that goal bonus too,
mhm.
I should say,
and might be the only African in the top
To
5
do
of
it.
goal scoring Prem.
for sure.
Major,
That'd be
Damn.
huge. Yeah,
He's
major.
got Drogba like that. Wow.
yeah. Michael
And then-
Owen
I'm
is
talking
at
about top-
150, which is
Talk about
crazy.
top 5 Prem scores. I'm not. Come on, relax.
Yeah, Michael Owen at
Uh,
150 is nuts because I don't even think he played.
Ooh, can he catch
Prem
Henry? Henry at 175?
Yeah, he might. I think he might.
Yeah,
He
it's
might catch
possible.
him.
Yeah, it's
He might
possible.
catch him.
It depends how long he stays in the Prem, though. To be completely honest.
You know, I will say I think it's a little wild that Frank Lampard is amongst all these strikers.
Man, he scored, bro.
I be trying to tell y'all.
Goat
He's-
settings.
I'm telling y'all,
he was a penalty merchant too, though. Penalty.
yeah, but he
Hey,
scored.
but now he scored.
He
Though.
scored
Come on,
bangers,
that's
the
too. It wasn't
original
just regular.
Fernandez. No, I will
No.
say, like when you compare like Gerrard, Scholes, and him, he scored the most. He
Yeah.
definitely scored the most. They
True,
say
8.
Gerrard was the more all-around player, but I don't.
That's why it's hard for me to not put him at 1 or 2 when we compare those 3 guys. But
That's a different start. Some
yeah, that's a whole.
That one could cause wars.
I don't think that debate it's one of those debates that you can never have an end to because no matter what you do,
everyone's gonna have an
everybody
answer.
exactly everybody's gonna have a different answer.
Yeah. So a few other games to touch on Saturday. We saw Man City beat Brighton 2-1, courtesy of goals by Julian Alvarez, and then Haaland seems to get out of his slump. I think they said he hasn't gone 3 Premier League games without scoring, so he was able to notch one this time. And then Newcastle 4-0 against Crystal Palace. This Newcastle team, man, how do y'all feel about them?
Same as
6th
last
place
year.
currently.
Man,
They
I
consistently
don't want to
scoring goals.
believe, but
Consistently scoring goals. Seem to pick right back up where they left off from last year. Do they?
Hey,
Can they make a push for top 4 again?
I think they can make a push for top 4, but I think it's going to be a lot tougher. And also the loss of Tonali is going to be huge. And yeah, it really just comes down to, and they lost their center back as well, I believe. Botman is injured, I believe, as well.
Yes,
So
yeah.
yeah, so you know they're still performing and they're still doing well. It's going to be a lot tougher for them, but I still think they'll be in the mix. They'll be where Brighton was last year. They'll be around in the mix. 4, 5, 6. They'll be in Europe, I think, again next year for sure.
Yeah, and then Brighton, they've been on a little bit of a slump. Their last 3 Premier League games, all losses.
Is there
Well,
high?
they actually drew Liverpool. So they lost 2-1 to City, 2-2 draw to Liverpool, lost 6-1 to Villa, and then we beat them in a cup match 1-0. So their previous 5 games, no wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. Does there be hype, or do we think they're just going through their little rough patch finally now that they're in the Prem, now that they're in Europe, they're kind of seeing what that can do to a team?
I mean, I think that they're a great story, but let's be honest. What are we expecting from these guys? We don't expect them to make top 4. I think it's a great story, but what we're sitting here talking about, oh my God, Brian is lost. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. What are we expecting them to do?
I expect them to be in the 6-7 mix. I bet them to be. I mean, this team has gotten a lot better. But
if they just lost,
they lost 2 of their main players that got them into the position that they, what they did last year and how they got 5th. So when you add that to the equation, there's only so much of just replacing guys that no one's heard of, and it's just going to continue to work. At some point, it's gonna get sticky. And I think they just hit that patch. And I like Salam said, I think it's a great story. And I think this team will be in the Prem for some years to come. I think I wouldn't say it's a hot spot, but now it's an attractive place to try and go if you want to advance your career and get in the Prem. There's a manager there who's very competent, very, very, very great manager, and it's an attractive place. So I think this is just a team that we can say will be in the mix for a little bit. I don't think they'll be top 4. I don't think they'll even be top 5, but they'll be in the mix for a while. And it's just kind of crazy to see their story because I mean Brighton. Come on, man, we really know Brighton, So it's like
they'll be the Dortmund of England. If you're a young guy, I agree. If you want to kind of give yourself a place, a platform, I agree. But Europe is going to catch up to them. So I don't.
It will.
Them clubs again, like West Ham a few years ago. Well, West Ham ended up winning the conference.
They ended up winning, yeah.
The year after we had that conversation, though, because the year prior they experienced what we talked about on here.
Right.
You can't do both. So, but yeah, man, let's get into our teams. You guys play,
man. Don't do that.
You guys play. We won.
Yeah. So marquee match.
The big
marquee match of the weekend was definitely, a London derby.
Battle of the Frauds.
Don't do that.
You're the last one. Please stop.
The nerve.
The nerve from this man.
So I'm not gonna lie, man. I was up for this match, bro. I was low key foaming at the mouth, ready for this match. Pause. Yeah. Crazy. Gabe and I actually watched the match together. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. I thought we had the 3. And it's funny because I did some homework. I did a little bit of homework before this match. I went back and I watched our last episode when we were doing the recap. And I said Chelsea would win 2-1. I said goals by Cole Palmer and goal by Mudryk. And I said, we don't hold clean sheets, so we're going to get scored on. And honestly, when it got to 2-1, I was like, I low-key got goosebumps. I'm like, yo, if this holds, I'm coming back and talking my shit. I'm coming back crazy. I'm going to put on a jersey. I'm going to have the light, banner, flag, everything. Y'all going to see me, true blue. We cripping out here.
I want to leak
it's tough, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. It's tough to get a draw like that, specifically for a few reasons. So I'm kind of just gonna go through the course of the match, and then I'll hand it over to Mike, and I can hand it over to Gabriel.
Gang.
So to start, bro, like to start, just shout out to Chelsea, shout out to Pochettino. I told Gabriel to like because Gabriel was a little late. He probably came 10 minutes into the match. Which is on the ass, man. This is the first match where I truly believe Pochettino hyped them up in the locker room and said, "Look, this is our first real test." I mean, you could say Liverpool, but first week is the first week. You know, you can take the good, the bad, the ugly. But now we're 2-3 months into the season, the campaign. We're on a little bit of a hot streak. Like I said last week, we've won 3 in a row. We're at home. This is a derby match. The crowd is going to be up for it because I think that the crowd is finally seeing, okay, baby, there's something here. You know, Mudryk scored in the international break. He's coming off a little bit of a hot streak as well. He's had a goal and assist in his last 2 prior to this match. So for him, I think that, like I said, this was a game where I thought he would be very important. This was a game where I needed our midfield to be very important. And for the most part, we did what I thought we would do. Odegaard was subbed off early, clamped. Didn't see him the whole match. We scored our 2 goals in the first half. You know, one was a penalty. And again, that's Mudryk doing what Mudryk has to do. He was being very active in the attacking third. You know, he gets the header that ultimately leads to the penalty because Saliba's hand hits the ball. Whether that was on frame or not, it doesn't matter because, you know, we got the penalty. Cole Palmer just controlling the match. First half, I didn't have any complaints. Where I have my first complaint is honestly with Pochettino. Subs off the first goal scorer at 65 minutes. For why?
Palmer?
No, Mudryk. Or no, the second goal
Palmer,
scorer. Sorry.
Palmer. No, it's Palmer.
No,
He subbed off Palmer first.
He subbed off Mudryk at 65 minutes.
Sorry.
And he subbed him for Nicholas Jackson.
I mean, that's even more poor.
For me, as a manager, this is a 2-0 match, you know? Still 30 minutes to go, and you take off one of the goal scorers, and, you know, you can call it an assist, the guy that created the first chance for the goal. Why? Like, what for why? You put on Nicholas Jackson, who, I mean, he's our 9, he's our striker, but he hasn't had the best last couple of weeks. You know, he's still finding form. Obviously, that's why he didn't get the start. And instead of taking off someone like Sterling, who wasn't having the best match, you take off our goal scorer and one of the potential best players on the pitch for us. Okay, fine. What happens a few minutes later? They score. So now we have one of our goal scorers off the pitch, guy who's been brimming with confidence. And then you bring on Reece James, who hasn't played.
He looked nervous.
And I told Gabriel at halftime, because he started warming up, I said, Gabriel, this is not a game for Reece James. I don't want Reece James on this pitch. This is not a game for him to come on because it's too intense. There's just too much going on, bro. It's too much going on. We're up. We have a lead. And right now, we're in a perfect spot to just go out 2-1.
And Gusto was having the match of his life, by the way.
Bro, I'll let Mike talk about it. But Cucurella and Gusto had everyone on clamps. On clamps.
No, I'm talking crazy.
On clamps. Martinelli, I ain't see him. Saka, I ain't see him.
This is about Chelsea.
Saka was a skip. You know, once Odegaard had to go off because he was being Danny Phantom, going ghost, you know, Saka gets the armband. Not much there. Second half, he had a better second half, but not much there. And I was telling Gabriel, the best player on the pitch for Arsenal was Declan Rice. And what do? We sub off Mudryk. 5 minutes later, we're giving the ball back to Sanchez, who has a terrible pass in the middle of the pitch. Declan Rice hits all credit to him. That was a great shot. First time he saw the keeper was out of position. Just beautiful shot. 2-1, 75 minutes in. So what do? We bring on Reece James, who hasn't played in over 2 months, coming off an injury, which is a hamstring injury that's been lingering for years now. Why would you put him in a high-stress, high-intensity match where this could really determine, our next month or two? What happens on the second goal? Reece James doesn't track all the way back. They score. And now it's 2-2. And honestly, I'm so glad we were able to get out of there with a point because in the last 15 minutes of the match, I told Gabriel, I was like, there's going to be no winner from us. We've taken off all of our goal scorers. Cole Palmer's off. Mudryk's off. We're bringing in Nicholas Jackson, who he hasn't looked good since he's come in. You know, we're bringing in Reece James, who shouldn't be even on the pitch. We're bringing in, you know, and then with credit to Arteta, he brings in Trossard. He brings in Nketiah, who almost scored on his first touch in the match. And for me, I think Pochettino let us down. He brought on he took off Mudryk way too early. The guy has been one of our best players these last 2-3 matches. He took off Cole Palmer and puts in Reece James, which again, as soon as he takes Reece, or as soon as Cole Palmer comes off, Saka scores a minute later, or Trossard scores a minute later. And it's just like, bro, both of the subs have led to goals in which you didn't have to make these subs because we were controlling the match. And so for me, it's tough, man, because like I said last week, you know, Salam asked, who does this win matter more for, Arsenal or Chelsea? And I said, Chelsea. We're going through a rough patch. You know, our last year and a half, 2 years has been terrible. We're finally finding somewhat, you know, some rhythm, a little bit of form. This is a match at home. This is a match where our fans are going to be up for it. Our players should be up for it. And everything was going according to plan until the last 15 minutes. And I really feel for our boys. I truly feel for Mudryk because you could see it in his face when he got taken off 65 minutes into the match. He's still too young, and he's not gonna be one of those players that goes to the manager and you know makes a fuss about it because obviously he's still growing, and you could tell that Pochettino is kind of taking him under his wing. But I ain't gonna hold you, bro. If I'm Mudryk, I'm making an issue coming off the pitch because that's a game where I feel like I'm at my best. You know, he was doing everything he could, but I don't know, man. That 2-2 draw feels like a loss to me. And Pochettino, I didn't even watch his post game because it would have pissed me off. I really don't care what he had to say after the match. I truly believe that he's one of the reasons that, you know, we didn't go out with the 3 points. But I'll let Mike give his piece and then Gabriel, you can go as well.
Yeah, man. I needed the mic for this one.
Mike brings.
I'm tired of us being. I'm tired of us being humble, man. Let's not act like we didn't just outplay Arsenal for 75 minutes. Like, come on, let's be real. We outplayed y'all to those 2 goals. Great performance, heartbreaking result, man. I was so pumped. You don't even understand how quick I wanted the game to go. I just wanted the game to end so I can be on Gabriel and Yasser's head. You have no idea how much I was just waiting for the game to end. Like, I couldn't even watch the game. Everybody was like, yo, just relax. Like, I couldn't. I was just like, I need this game to end.
Yeah.
But anyways, I mean, you gotta be realistic, man. From where we were and where we are now. I mean, the boys get everything.
All right.
The boys
gave everything. Vibes.
The boys gave everything.
No. I can't. I mean, Cornelius said everything. The substitutions, it just didn't make sense to me. I didn't think we needed to sub anybody off yet. When he subbed people, I'm just like, what are we doing?
Too early.
Too early. I agree with you. Robert Sanchez, he's definitely not my first pick. He's never been my first pick.
Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't.
By a mistake. I mean, who are you giving the ball to? What kind of pass was that? It's like you're almost scared to have the ball. I mean, just horrible mistakes, but it's kind of expected, you know. We're gonna go up and down. But then again, they've showed to me that we can compete in these games. So now it's time to go do what? Win one of these games. And I'm hoping Tottenham will be the victim when we see them. But overall, man, I'm not mad. But if I tell you that I wasn't disappointed, I was very disappointed with the result.
I'm pretty mad.
But I look at the performance. I'm not mad, but I'm just disappointed. I look at the performance and there's a lot of promise there. There's a lot of hope. Like it brings you, some type of hope that okay, we're at least moving in the right direction. But overall, I think Cornelius, I mean, he said everything that needed to be said. From the substitutions where I feel like he was getting nervous himself. He's like, oh, I can't believe we're winning 2-0. Let me do something. Like, you didn't need to do anything yet. He rushed it. But anyways, I blame Robert Sanchez. I mean, that was a horrible, horrible pass. I didn't even know who he was giving the ball to. Anyways,
Nice.
shout out to Declan Rice, though. That was a nice goal. With the way the game was going, Reece James didn't have to come in. I don't know what he did. When he came in, he didn't even look right. I mean, very disappointing result, but I think it gives us a lot of hope.
So I have a question. I have a question before you go, Gabriel. So
No, go
both
ahead.
of you guys said that you don't agree with a lot of the decisions that were made. I personally felt like with the players at his disposal, at his disposal, he did. I felt like what needed to happen. Now, I guess it's up for
What?
debate.
No, the starting lineup was fine.
The starting lineup was
It was
fine.
fine.
Because the
But
starting
he didn't
lineup
need
was
to
fine.
make subs yet, though.
But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Making subs
hear
too
me
early.
out. Hear me out. You're 2-0 up. Yes, you're at home. Chelsea playing at Stamford Bridge is not a home field advantage for you guys. You're a young team. You're very inexperienced. So I understand why at the 60th, 65th minute, he's taking off an attacker. Who did he bring on?
Jackson.
Nico Jackson, Action Jackson.
And then someone who took his spot, the guy who he took off.
Sterling went wide.
Someone else.
Madueke and what's his name came on.
So to me, that makes sense. Now Jackson's not in there to score goals. Jackson's in there to defend for me. So for me, I felt like with the players at his disposal, like he was making his head was in the right place.
No, Salam, I can't agree with you, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I disagree.
I
with you
disagree.
because I just want to say I disagree personally because as I'm watching the match, right? Chelsea's up 2-0 at home. Their Stamford Bridge is rocking, bro. Like I'm not gonna lie, the
been like that
bridge
in 2
was
years.
rocking, bro. And Mudryk was having his way on that left side. So I see what you're saying in a sense, like, okay, I'm up 2-0, let me bring on this player, but it's like Cornelius said, it's too early. He didn't need to come off yet. You can let him still have a run 75th minute if it's good. Say less. Then I can bring on Jackson. He can see the last 15 to 10 out, but Mudryk doesn't need a goal. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm Mudryk, I'm pissed. Let me at least stay on until 80, 75 to 80.
No,
like,
the
why are you
problem
taking me off
was
at
that-
66?
So the problem was that Mudryk came off. It wasn't so much. So who was on the other side? Madueke?
But no.
So
Palmer was on the other side. But
so
my thing is, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm just saying. So Mudryk is on one side, Cole Palmer's on the other side, Sterling's up top. Right. This is how they started.
You can't take Sterling off. I'm sorry.
Why not?
I understand.
But that's. I'll let Gabriel finish, and
I can understand how you think about that. I understand why you say that, and I kind of agree because he has experience. This is a big game. All of that you want to keep him in. That makes sense, 100%. But my thing is, Mudryk does not need to come off if you're getting subbed at 60th minute, bro. You're the first sub, and usually it's a problem. Usually it's like you're not performing well. Yeah, we need maybe minutes. We have a game midweek. I'm taking you off. If you have no midweek games.
Exactly.
Bro, Mudryk should be playing till the 75th minute. The man has scored. He's been buzzing. The crowd is receiving him very well. He's causing problems all over the pitch. Bro,
reward him.
I am furious if I'm Mudryk if I'm coming off before the 75th minute, bro. 75th minute. Like I'm upset because there's no reason you need to come in the match. There's no reason. And I'm not saying that's the reason that we scored our next goal, but you as a player, I've been in games where you're playing a game, you see a guy balling out, he's doing well, and then you see him get subbed off, and it's like,
why?
It's like what?
The whole team
I'm rocking with my boy right now. I'm rocking with my boy right now. Just how we were talking about Darwin Nunez, and he has that spark. Mudryk just had the spark. So why are you taking him off? Same thing with Cole Palmer. Palmer had the spark all match. Zinni got taken off at 45 because he was getting smoked. He was getting smoked, and Zinni got pulled off at 45. And we need to make it happen because Tomiyasu shut that up really quickly. But it's like Cole Palmer as well. So I mean, it got taken off a little bit later, but it's like, why are you taking off these players that have, like I can agree with them wholeheartedly. Because when Mudryk came off, bro, I was relieved. I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And Salam, I'll let you go, but I want to rebuttal your point in the beginning because, bro, I'm telling you, bro, I did my homework and I honestly I watched the last 15, 20 minutes of our last episode because I wanted to make sure I said what I said because that's how I truly felt before the match. And one of the big things I said is this is a game where Arsenal's going to have the possession. I think at the end of the game, they had 63 possession or 37, something like that. Arsenal's going to control possession. We are not a good possession team. So what happens? 65 minutes, Mudryk comes off and he puts in Nicholas Jackson. Why? I assume because he wants to hold the ball, he wants to keep possession, and he wants someone who's a little bit better at just maintaining that, holding the ball up. Cucurella gets his yellow card at the 71st minute. 5 minutes after Mudryk subbed off, and then 5 minutes after that yellow card, what happens? We mess up, and this isn't a bad mess up. This is us moving the. This is us. But Salam, as a team that's not good in keeping possession, now we have 20 minutes in which all we have to do is keep possession. That's not our strong suit. Our strong suit is countering. Our strong suit is winning the ball back in the middle and attacking, putting the force, putting the stress on the defense. And I understand it's football. You're up 2 goals. There's 20 minutes left. Let's just see the game out. Let's keep possession. Yeah. But that's not what we're good at. And what happens? We try to keep possession. We pass it back to our keeper. Our keeper makes a bonehead pass to the middle of the pitch.
That's the problem.
2-1. So now we're down 2-1. What do? We take off our other goal scorer and bring on Reece James, who isn't playing his normal position. So now he's out of position. And then 2, we bring on a Madueke, who is way too young to be in a game where now he has to, be a little bit more defensive because we're up 2-1 and now Arsenal has all the momentum. So what happens? 84th minute, we sub on Madueke and Reece James. What happens in the 85th minute? They counter, Saka plays it over to Trossard. Reece James, who's out of position, doesn't get back quick enough, and they score. 2 quick goals after 2 quick substitutions. And it's all because, for me, because I'm watching the game, bro, for me, it's because when you subbed off Mudryk, you could see the energy in the team drop. And
I agree. Yeah.
And then you expect us to be a team that sees the game out after we're down 2-1, where Arsenal now is on the front foot, and we're not the best at holding possession. I said that last week. And now you bring on 2 players who are supposed to help us do that. But in the situation, bro, Reece James is coming off injury. He's not 100%. I don't care what anybody says. He should have never been in that match. Nane Madueke is 20 years old. He's not been in a situation where he has to actually be a little bit more defensive and kind of be, he has to respect the other team. And those two specific instances, bro, are the biggest things for me because it changed the whole dynamic of the game. It changed the whole mindset of our team. And now when we're down 2-2, who do we look for to score a goal when both of the goal scorers are off the pitch?
Nobody knows.
And that's my whole issue. There was no reason for him to make those substitutions when he did. And I believe when we got scored on, the whole demeanor of the team dropped. And, that's why we were lucky to escape with 2-2. As much as I said that, Arsenal was lucky to escape with a point, we were also in the same breath lucky that they didn't get scored on. Yeah. And Nketiah almost scored on his first touch. And now you're asking a team who is very, very young, very, very inexperienced in this type of situation to hold the ball for 20 minutes. I can't accept that.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say 2 points. The first point with the Jackson sub, I hear you. Like, you guys struggle with keeping possession. I don't think that you're putting on Jackson to keep possession. We've seen what the ball looks like at his feet.
So then what's he coming on for?
I think that he's there to defend. He's there to defend. He's there to press. He's literally there to use his athleticism to try and win the ball back high up the field. He is if that's what you want to do, take off Sterling, who hasn't scored, hasn't been in the match as much, and keep on the 2 goal scorers. You can't take off Sterling.
Why not? He hasn't even been starting every week. So why can't we take off Sterling?
The same reason why Maguire and them.
Nah, bro. I can't.
I'm
not hearing that.
I agree with Cornelius to a certain point. Because go ahead.
This is my last point.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with your point, Cornelius, about how the momentum dropped, the whole mood of the game changed. I personally don't believe that happened when Mudryk came off. I believe that
Yeah.
happened when Robert Sanchez messed up.
I agree. I agree.
It was a double. It was a
I-
double whammy, bro. It was a double whammy. Double
Mhm.
whammy.
That's when
It
the
was a
morale
double
went out
whammy.
the window. How did we get up to this point? And now we're
I agree.
2-1. We're already mentally fragile. We're a
Mhm.
young team. So that creeps
Mhm.
into your head. And then the second goal comes in. For me,
Mhm.
as a coach, I'm not looking at myself. I'm not, as a fan, I wouldn't be looking at him and being like, hey, because you didn't make that pass to nobody. Like Mike said,
No,
there was
Hmm.
nobody even in the vicinity. For him
Sanchez
to
has a
do
lot of
that,
blame. I'm not
No,
gonna hold you on
Enzo was
that.
there,
on
but
him.
he wasn't there.
This is
for
on
real.
him. I'm sorry, but this is on him. This
Yeah,
is
but
on-
that's only but Salam. But to my point, that's only one goal. And when was the second goal? After we made a double sub to bring on Reece James and Madueke for Cole Palmer, one of our goal scorers,
Sterling.
and I believe Sterling. So
Mhm.
it's like, so now we're taking off all of our goal scorers and Sterling, who we have to keep on the pitch, for
You
two
have
players who are one inexperienced, and two, the second goal happens right after that, bro. Like
Yeah.
the proof's in the pudding. I don't have to make this
I
up.
knew
You
you
can
were
go
about to say
back and
that.
look at the
That's okay.
timestamp. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
the goals are very, very close into two major decisions. So for me, I can't. For me, this draws on Pochettino.
Yeah.
The
I
players
mean,
played. The players
yeah.
played exactly how they were supposed to, and we start tweaking a little bit too early, and look at what happens. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a growing.
Sanchez definitely has blame in this, but
Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
I agree with Cornelia. The subs were too early for me too. Like it was too early. But I want to shout out what's his name? Gallagher. I want to shout out our midfield and Gallagher especially. Like when we had N'Golo Kante, what made us different was the fact that we had somebody that was willing to win the ball back.
Do the dirty
ASAP.
work.
And thank you. And Gallagher did a great job doing that this game. I'm not, I'm the biggest. Like, I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's ready. But bro, he's been giving us work, man. And I gotta shout him out, man. All the midfield guys played well. I would have taken off Enzo. This might be a hot take. I would have
I'm
taken
gonna
off
take it off
Enzo
Caicedo.
and brought on Oguchukwu or whatever his name is. I thought we needed more strength in the middle because Declan was having his way getting to the end. I don't know if
Having
you
his
noticed,
way.
but he was getting his way. After he scored that goal, the confidence just, boosted. And
He was their best player the entire time on the pitch. It's just that first half they didn't touch the
He's been
ball,
their
so you didn't
best
see
player all
it.
season.
yeah,
He's been their
yeah.
best player all
and
season.
and
Then Saka.
I mean, when we move over to Arsenal, I mean, we got to ask questions with their captain and Starboy. He
The English league.
First and foremost, y'all are going crazy. Let me
Bro.
speak about my team first before y'all start. asking
No,
questions
and the
about
thing
my
is,
team.
I'll
Y'all
say
are
this about
bugging out.
Saka. First half he was clamped up, but once we started making those
Clamped.
substitutions in the second half, he
Let
got
me just let
free
y'all have this
and
moment.
he literally had the assist. Like
Mhm.
he was on clamps until he got the assist.
The assist saved him. It literally saved his game. But hey, Gabriel
I'll
can
let
take
Gabriel
over.
go, man,
But, yeah,
because we talked Chelsea. I know it's two
Just-
of us, but
Just
honest
for-
conversations, Gabriel.
Just for like the recency bias of what you're just saying. Let me just start with Saka. 90 minutes played. Excuse me. These are his stats, so I just want to just put that out there. 20 out of 29 passes completed. 3 chances created, 1 big chance created. 3 out of his 4 dribbles that he had were successful. And then he was 2 for 5 for long balls and 0 out of 1 for accurate long balls. So if you look at his game statistically, it's really not that poor. Now, I will go in the Arsenal as a whole. This is probably the worst first half I've seen us play since, I mean, probably for a season and a half. Like this is the worst first. Yeah, no, this is like an Arteta out first half for me. Like it was piss poor, and it wasn't just piss poor from one person. I'm talking about piss poor from everyone. I'm talking about. I'm not even going to single out anyone right now. I'm just saying from top to bottom, piss poor. We just needed to get out the half. And I just think we just weren't ready for it. We weren't up for it. I think international break, guys looked slow. Guys looked sluggish. Guys just were not up for it first half. And even starting second half, started slow once again. Mudryk scored the second goal, I think like 47 minutes, 48 minutes, 2 minutes into the second half. And we still look slow. We still look sluggish. We just didn't have it.
Hold on. Before you move on, I want to ask you about the Jorginho start. How did you feel about that?
Mike, don't worry, I'll get into it. I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna get into it.
Okay.
So we just didn't have it. And that's exactly where I was going, Mike, because one of the reasons I think we didn't have it from the beginning was that Jorginho started. And I look at Arteta, and I don't want to put this match.
I was
like
happy when
like
I saw him
our
start.
start on
I
Arteta
was like,
per se with this one change, but in a match like this, right? You know that this game's gonna be very high pace. This team's a counterattacking team. It's gonna get open at a certain point. There's no game that we have that doesn't get open. And with the players that are on the pitch, these are guys who want to run at you, right? Press, run at you. Jorginho is not the player to be in. He's not the type of player to suit that type of match. And I could understand his thinking, like, oh, we're going to be on possession the whole time. This on the third, but in the midfield, this is it's not his match whatsoever. And I thought that start was extremely questionable. I didn't like it, and I knew it was going to hurt us. Because if you look at the match, honestly, Declan Rice can do what Jorginho did. We don't need Jorginho there. If I'm being completely honest, Jorginho, we could have played with 10 men and Declan Rice could have done both of their jobs and we would have been okay. So for me, I didn't think that Jorginho, I think he made our squad actually worse because he couldn't not match the intensity of Chelsea's midfield. So we're playing down him essentially in the midfield. And Declan Rice did his best to help that in the first half and to do what he could, but it wasn't there. And it comes to Odegaard as well. Odegaard's been missing for 4 or 5 matches now. Haven't seen him. I haven't seen it. He's been off it for 4 or 5 matches now. And this is a guy where, listen, bro, we need you. It's just the fact of it. You're our captain. You're supposed to lead by example. You're not leading by example. Simple as that. And that's why you got taken off at 68 minutes. And in an overall sense, before I get into specific things, I just want to say that we stole a point, 10,000. After they scored their second goal, after about 65 minutes, I told Cornelius, I was like, yo, you know what? Y'all can have it. I'm cool. I was about to go upstairs. I was like, this is ridiculous because this is the worst football I've literally seen us play in so long.
Literally.
It honestly was just unfathomable to me that we just went into a derby match in Stamford Bridge like that. Like, I was kind of in distraught. But I always had some type of hope in a sense because I always have some hope that my team would get back in it. And of course, the guy's been hands down probably, if not our best player, one of our best players the entire season is the one who scores our goal when we need it the most. And it was a great feeling seeing that Jorginho came off and seeing that Odegaard came off because I'm glad that Arteta had the guts to make that decision. Like, no, our captain needs to come off right now. Like, you're not up for it. And I'm glad that, and Cornelius, me and Cornelius are right next to each other. The whole match, I'm just screaming, why is Jorginho on the pitch? Why is he here? What is he doing? Because he's not doing anything that Partey couldn't do, or honestly put in Fabio Vieira or Kai Havertz. Like, we have so many other options. Why is Jorginho the pick for today? I don't get it. I really don't understand it. If you want to win the midfield, you're starting Enzo, Caicedo, Gallagher, 3 high rate working guys. We're starting Odegaard, he's high rate. Declan Rice, who's high rate. Jorginho is not. His legs are not there, bro. So why are we matching the intensity of the energy away from home? I could never understand it. But once he came off, I said thank God because now the match is going to change, and it immediately did. It immediately changed after he came off. And when Declan Rice scored that goal, breath of fresh air. Definitely man of the match for me. But it was at the perfect time because right as soon as Declan Rice scored that goal, that's when Trossard and that's when Kai Havertz came on. And it couldn't have been more divine timing because, after the match, they asked Trossard, they asked players, why were you guys able to change the the kind of the energy second half? And it was like the work rate. It was apparent, clear, the work rate. The work rate was so much different. These guys brought a different energy, and as soon as we scored that first goal, they came on. They had so much. You coming in, 2-0. It's like, all right, let's try to make something happen. But coming in 2-1, now you're like, oh, I'm gonna win. Hey, let's get this. Like we're in this now. Like we're definitely in this now. And as soon as they came on, buzzing, everyone buzzing. And just it just shows our poise and how much we've grown, and to show that even though we're down 2-0, we haven't been playing the best football, we can still come back and get a result, and that's a championship mentality. That's what we're leaning towards, and that's, in a sense, sometimes is what you have to do. We had a terrible day. We didn't play well.
Yeah.
We didn't start the game well. I didn't agree with the lineup, but Arteta, he made the tough decisions. He made substitutions that would help us. Bringing off Zinni in the 45th minute was the best thing he could have ever done, because Cole Palmer was having his way. Zinni could not catch that, man. And Tomiyasu locked that up immediately. Immediately you saw the change. Immediately. That left side, their right side was dead. It was all Mudryk. So, and then once Mudryk came off, I'm like, perfect. Honestly, I thought in my head,
it was literally party time.
I said, bless. Now Ben White can get forward. He can do what he needs to do. Tomiyasu can defend, play in the middle, do what he needs to do. When Jorginho and Martinelli came off, I said, bless. It's not even so much Martinelli. He wasn't having a great game. That's fine. But Jorginho, bless. Kai Havertz is coming in. I know this guy's going to work. He'll keep the ball. Another tall guy, set pieces, great. Trossard coming in. Trossard's been a spark for us when he needs to. He hasn't. When he starts, he's not that great. When he comes off the bench, he's usually good. Bless, come in. And as soon as we scored that goal and I saw them coming in, I said, oh, yeah, they're going to be on it now. They're going to be on it. And then when you need your superstar boy to show up, Star Boy shows up. He only needs a glimpse, and that's a true superstar mentality. You only need one time. You only need one time to get it right. And that one time, he got it right. Put in the armband and got it right. And I'm just proud of the fact that we were able to stay in it. We didn't get out of it. We didn't, get away from our roots or try to change too much. We stuck to who we are and what we believe in. We brought on the necessary changes to help us win the match, or help us get a result in the match. And it almost resulted in us winning the match. I'm just blessed to honestly get out with the point, just based off our performance. We stole a point, still undefeated, is what we needed to do, is what we need to do to push for a league title. And, in my eyes, this is a failed test, because it's bittersweet, because I consider it a failed test just because of how poor the first half was. But all in all, you have to take it with a grain of salt and say, hey, we could have taken it now, and we didn't. We stuck out there with a point away from home, especially away from home, which is even the bigger thing. And next time hopefully it'll be a little bit easier at the Emirates. So not a great performance, but a great way to end the match. Shout out Declan Rice. I forgot to shout out, so crazy. I forgot to even play my song, but it's cool.
My gosh.
But no, yeah, shout out Declan Rice, obviously our best player at the moment. And I just want to say, yeah, shout out Arteta, but also Odegaard, bro. You need to get on it. You need to find some type of form. And the last thing I'll say, give me Ramsdale back ASAP. Give me
Raya on
Ramsdale back
Fred
today.
Watch right now.
Because this guy Raya, oh my goodness.
Y'all feeling
How do you
ready?
get shit
Bro,
from that side? Come on, man.
Listen, the only difference I see with this guy, the only difference that's very noticeable, crosses. And it sounds kind of crazy coming from the match that we just had. They got beat on like a fake cross. It was really fluke, honestly. But anyway, the only difference that this guy is better at than Ramsdale, crosses. That is it. Feet, no. Long balls, no. I'm not hearing it. The long balls are going left, right, out of bounds, hitting the left stand. I don't see it. I'm not hearing it.
Yeah.
None of it. And me and Yasser have these conversations. Shout out to him. We have these conversations all the time about, Raya and Ramsdale. And he say, no, Arteta wants Raya to play out the back more. So, of course, he's going to have a couple more mistakes. Bro.
No.
bro, we signed a ball playing goalkeeper. You're worse with your feet than Ramsdale, and you're supposed to be the ball playing goalkeeper. So for me,
Don't get me started.
I don't see it. I don't see it. He does not
Don't get
pass
me
the eye
started.
test to me. He doesn't. He's not it. The only thing you're better at is crosses. Outside of that, bro,
All these guys are
communication
fake,
isn't there.
All these guys, they're
Bro,
fake.
at this
The
point,
passes-
I don't
the
even
passes aren't
want
there.
a ball playing goalkeeper.
I don't even want-
Give me somebody
every
that
time it
can,
goes
give
back
me
to
Peter
Ryan,
Check.
bro, I'm
Just give me Peter Check, bro. Somebody that's
Bro,
going to
every
save.
time it goes back
I
to
don't
that
care
guy,
about
I
your
am
feet.
nervous because I don't know where he's gonna put the ball. I don't know if he's gonna give it to Cole Palmer. I don't know if he's gonna give it to Saliba. I don't know if he's gonna kick it to the girl sitting in the third row. I don't know who he's gonna give the ball to, bro.
Trying to
I
give it
don't
back
know
to
who.
Arteta.
Give me Ramsdale back right now. And they said he's starting Tuesday, bro. I just honestly let us lose Tuesday and that guy let him make a mistake and get scored on again, bro. Give me Ramsdale back right now. Right now. I don't know why we changed it. I don't know why we switched it. But give me my guy back because this guy, I don't see it. I don't want it. After this loan, I don't even want to sign the guy. I don't want to sign him. I don't want them after this loan. It's a dead thing to me, bro.
Yeah, they
This
might
Arteta
send
thing,
him
bro.
back.
It's dead. I trust
send
Kai
him back.
Havertz more than I trust Raya, bro. I swear. I swear on everything. I do
Bring
not
Giroud.
trust this guy. I do not trust
Giroud got more clean sheets.
Dude,
We've talked this game. I know we talked a lot, but this will be my last statement for the Arsenal Chelsea match, and this is what I said personally after the match, and this is the direct quote from Ukraine Bolt, aka Mikhailo Mudryk. Shout out Gerard for that nickname. Ukraine Bolt is crazy.
I like that.
But he said directly after the match, quote, "It was something in the middle between a cross and a shot. Before the game, our goalkeeper coach told me to look at their keeper because sometimes he is trying to read things and he can lose the goal, so I can chip him. So it was something I knew and I kept in my head. I went for something between the cross and the shot, and it was a good decision. It was amazing to share the moment with our fans against Arsenal especially. It was a special moment. I truly appreciate their support a lot."
Working for the camera.
See,
bro.
take your
I'm telling
goal
you,
and go,
He looked
man.
up twice.
Working
Take
for
your
the
goal and
camera.
go. Come on.
Saw
I
Raya
don't
a
believe
little.
that.
He was in front of the 6. And I saw him look up twice. He
Cornelius,
looked
you're
up
actually
first at the goal,
you're actually
then he
delusional.
looked.
I think you're actually delusional. You're delusional. That man
Nah.
had no intentions of trying to
Modric,
shoot.
Take your goal.
was a-
and
Please,
go.
thank you, Mike. Just
Come on.
go. Just
He got the
respectfully
goal.
I didn't think he
pass,
meant that.
man.
Come on.
Respectfully
He got the
pass.
goal.
I'll take the goal,
You
but
got
you
the
did not
post,
mean
Yeah.
that.
you got the Instagram picture. Just let it.
Yeah, just
Right.
let
Yeah,
it go.
don't even
Don't
try to
explain
claim it.
this.
Don't try to claim it. You are not
I'm
Braun.
just saying.
We'll let
I'm
Braun
just quoting.
say,
I'm
"Oh,
just
I saw
quoting.
3 rims and I couldn't see."
Yeah,
We'll let
yeah.
Braun have that. That's Braun. Do not.
Hey.
Come on, stop it.
Brown was
Stop
striking.
it.
This
Stop
has
it,
a
bro.
little bit more to it.
No,
It's
it
got
does
a little
not.
bit more
You can
sauce.
literally look at his eyes. That man was looking at Sterling.
He
did
looked
not
him
look
off. He
Oh,
looked
God.
up
He
before
was-
he
he
even
was
looked.
trying to
He looked
find
at the
who's
goal
in the
before he
box.
even looked at
Nah.
Sterling.
He
He
hit
looks
him
at the
with
goal,
the
looks
lead.
at Sterling,
eyes,
looks
they
at
went like
Sterling
this.
again, and chips. Hey,
One
That's
eye
right.
was
You're
looking at
delusional,
Sterling.
bro. You're
One eye was
delusional.
looking at Raya. That's
You're delusional.
true
But
That's all I
anyway,
gotta say.
yeah, you're
That's all I
delusional,
gotta
bro.
but yeah, man. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's go to United.
man.
United seemingly, still can't keep a clean sheet, but
Fraudulent win, man.
for them to come back. Shout out United, and again, shout out my guy Scotty McToms. I've always been a fan of his. I think he's a United player, and I think his form in the last month or so has been showing it. But goal by him in the first half, and then Dalot with a banger, absolute banger to seal the deal at 2-1. So I'm not sure if you're able to watch the match, but as far as United right now, how do you feel about it?
Oh, it's terrible watching United. To be honest with you, I think more or less it's just what I said last week. It wasn't impressive, but we got the 3 points, which is the most important thing. We're getting these late wins against Burnley, against Sheffield, against Wolves. Against these teams that are battling relegation, and we're barely scraping out with the results. So I mean, yeah, it's concerning. I think we're a third of the season into it, right, or almost, just about, and still no signs of any style of play. I know this season, I guess it's been popular to pick on Casemiro and say that he's the reason why the midfield isn't working. He didn't play this past weekend. We still looked poor, so clearly it isn't him. I do want to say shout out to Amrabat. I thought Amrabat
Crazy.
started off slow in the
That
first
shot
half,
too.
but then he had a
they
good
hit the post.
hit
Yeah,
the post. But
crossbar. I think.
you know, Amrabat looked a lot better when Eriksson came on. I think, and this may sound distasteful because he scored, but McTominay can't play in our midfield. I think the reason why we've looked so poor is in the midfield. When he plays, he's poor. When he doesn't play, everyone else is poor. So, and I think that it's again like when you look at the collection of the midfielders that we have, if in all seriousness, when you look at the collection of midfielders that we have, they don't complement each other. Again,
That's a fact.
we talked about this in the last segment.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
We have a ball playing goalkeeper. We don't.
Gabriel, so I'm saying it could be worse.
Yeah.
It could be-
You know, we have a ball. We have a ball playing goalkeeper, but we don't keep the ball. So there's that. You again. I said this earlier in the season. Ten Hag has to be held responsible for unbalancing the midfield. Our first signing of the summer was Mason Mount. Let's be real. Let's be honest. What does Mason Mount provide for this team? I haven't seen it yet. For me
Vibes.
personally, I think him and Bruno Fernandes are the same player.
They
I'm
are.
going to rotate those two.
He's Bruno's backup. I don't know why we're playing this. He
Yeah.
has to come in.
To the point where we're moving Bruno out to the right to accommodate a Mason Mount who is not even in form, which he's his guy. So, like he's going to ride with his guys. I think that's the one thing that Ten Hag has showed. If he's worked with you, he trusts you because he doesn't trust a lot of these other guys. But I mean, all in all, man, it's frustrating. I think Dalot's goal out of nowhere that bailed us out. But, week to week, I just look and think like, what's the formula? Where are we going to find that consistent source of production, fluidity? Doesn't seem to be there. And the last thing that I want to say, and I hate that we've gotten to this point, and I could be early, I could be wrong. Some of these players, they seem as if they're not buying into the manager anymore. It's completely different from last year.
I was gonna ask you something.
yeah.
I don't know if United fans see it, but I see it. I feel like your front three do not complement each other. Also,
Nothing
it
compliments.
seems
Our
like
whole team doesn't.
it
Whole
seems
team
like
just
everybody
compatible.
is playing their own game. I mean,
Yeah.
there were so many times you lay it off in the middle, somebody could have just tapped it in.
Yeah.
And dude is trying to take a shot on the left. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just again back to the individual brilliance. I think that and I said this years ago, and I think that you guys laughed, but like I really mean this. Like, I don't think that you guys truly understand what the Ole era meant for Manchester United. Like, it really enabled a lot of bad habits amongst players that are still in the team right now. Mike, I agree. I think that we have a striker who's clearly hungry, who clearly needs service into the ball. Unfortunately, the guy on the left can't be asked to
No,
pass the ball
Rashford
at all.
just never wants to
can't
set
even-
anybody up. I don't
he can't-
understand.
With it, it's boring like talking about that because it just seems very just like I'm picking on him every.
Yeah, I know.
He's for me, he doesn't do enough for the contract that he's gotten for the stature of
MBE.
for the stature of player that I guess he is projected to in the media. Like he doesn't produce there, but I think you're right. I think like some of these guys have clearly shown that they're not interested in playing for the manager anymore. There have been many guys who have come out, like there will be moments in the game where I don't know if you guys have saw like Maguire and Johnny Evans, both two separate occasions. They leave the back line and they get involved in the midfield. They join the attack. Ten Hag says that was against the plan. That wasn't in the plans. So clearly they don't give a shit about what he's saying. It's unfortunate because here we are in a position where player power seems to rule United. And these are the same group of players that have gotten countless of managers fired. And here we are with another person, and it's unfortunate. I really feel for Eric Ten Hag, man. He has to figure this out. And like the biggest thing, this is the last thing that I'll say. The hardest thing for me is like the guys that you're looking to, the guys that you're depending on to save you.
Are
I
the
don't know.
problem.
Mason, like we need Mason to a complete 360. Bruno Fernandes,
I don't see it.
he can't be dropped. He's been completely poor since he's put on the captain's armband, if I'm being completely honest. Since he's been captain, he's been poor. Marcus Rashford, you gave him the contract, he deserved the contract. That's there, and I think yeah, man. I think that some of these guys, I pray Lissandro comes back because he needs some of the guys that he signed, because clearly some of these other guys are not interested and they're not playing for him. So
what do you think? Because let's keep the airwaves open. This is an honest platform here. It's an honest platform, right?
Honest conversations.
Yeah, transparency. So there have been reports, right? And as you know, Sir Jim Ratcliffe has, bought what 25% of United, 30% of United.
25.
Is it official, or is he?
Yeah. I think it's happening.
It's it's official. And I say that because there are reports that have come out saying that if Ten Hag were to be sacked, that Jim Ratcliffe has had a say, and that he would want to appoint Graham Potter.
Yeah.
Please take him.
Which would just like kind of just quick sidebar. I think that would be so detrimental to your team and to Manchester United and to your club. But what do you think it will take for Ten Hag to be sacked?
What will it take for Ten Hag to be sacked? I think it would have to get to a point where it's hard for me to like put this in actual word, but like if you understood the mood going into that Watford game before Ole got fired, you would have to get to that point to where there is no optimism. I think the only thing that's really helping him right now is everything he did last year. And to be fair, he's done a lot of good things. He's done a lot of things that have needed to happen. In his time, again, I think he's had to deal with a lot. Ronaldo, Sancho, Greenwood, Rashford. He's had to deal with just countless of things. But I think it would have to take, like, we would have to be kind of where, I wouldn't even say Chelsea. Like, it would have to be towards the end of the season. Like, no signs of making top four. Clearly, everybody's not into playing anymore. I think no shot at the cup competitions. I think it would get to that point. Because especially now, I don't think that if this new guy's coming in, I don't think that he's really going to care about, what he's done, here previously. We saw what Bowley looked at Thomas Tuchel and was like, bruh, I don't really give a shit about what you did. You're going to get out of here. He's going to get his guys in there. So I honestly don't think it's going to take much. It would just have to get to a point where the players would just have to continue what they're doing now, if I'm being frank. It would probably take 3 months. But if that happens, and even with this whole Sir Jim thing, this is very bad. If we get a proper director of football in Paul Mitchell, that's the rumors, that would be great for us. But if you get rid of Ten Hag for Graham Potter, and again, the reports are we need this English identity, so we know what that means.
And that's why I'm saying Sir Jim, sir now, sir. So
I don't know. I call him Jim. Jim.
Call him James. Call him James.
J-Rad.
He's the thing with him though is he's a Manchester guy. He's from the area, so like you would think he would have the best interests of the fans at heart. He says he's a fan, even though he has a Chelsea season ticket. Yeah, man. Obviously, it's gonna go one of two ways, but hopefully he can get the right people in place. And I think if a guy like Paul Mitchell can come in, he's a football guy. He can see that like Ten Hag, Potter. Like I don't think that it's you know.
I think it would be a horrible decision. We've
Terrible.
seen Graham Potter in a position where he's the manager of a top six club, and we all saw how it went. Um, Bro, we are not in the era anymore where there are a lot of good coaches just sitting at home. Like most of them are gone.
There is
Don't go, psych yourself out thinking, oh, there's somebody good out there. Nah. Y'all better stick with him. Because when I look at guys like Rashford and I look at Bruno Fernandes, where's the blame? Those guys just don't do anything. I mean,
No.
Rashford wants to be messy every time he touches the ball.
Yeah.
Bro, you don't got to dribble through six people. Pass the ball. Let's go. But
Yeah, no,
you
I
either
think
stick with him or I don't know. You're not.
no, I'm just saying. I think it's super concerning that there are already rumors coming out
For sure.
about a potential I'm just saying about a potential change, and there's already a name, and that's why I think there's some type of truth to it, because
Absolutely.
even when we were thinking about sacking Arteta, like there was no names. It was just listen, these next 5
But Gabriel, like
do well. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. It worries me. It doesn't worry me, but it's worrisome for you because
they've wanted him out though. Let's be real. They've wanted him.
No,
They've like
100%.
There's a clearly agenda against the guys that like they didn't want him in there. In the first
But Salam, as a
It's like
United fan,
who is there an agenda against? Because
well,
I mean, for me,
this is I don't even want
if
to
you look at your last 5 managers,
exactly. Like
no, but
you might as well
Ole
stick this one
was the
out.
longest manager.
here's what, but he was the longest manager because
They want a yes man.
Yeah.
they wanted a yes man. The
Yep.
people in charge wanted a
puppet.
yes man, right? Because they knew that they could tug at the fans' heartstrings by putting a fan favorite there at the face of it, knowing that he doesn't have any idea what he's doing. And here we are, 3 years later, still trying to get out of the hole that essentially they sank us in. And I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, it's tough, bro. And it's so crazy, bro. And this is the last thing I'll say, but it's so wild, like watching the Beckham documentary now and just watching back then about just how elite United were everywhere.
You have no
Yeah.
idea.
Facts.
And
I did that all summer.
we were lucky. We were lucky. We had Sir Alex Ferguson. He had his hands on everything. And even with him, because there came a point where even he understood that he had to bring in other coaches too. He had to revamp the ideas. But just looking at where we are now, man, and especially with this news of Jim Ratcliffe, it's hard to be optimistic. It's really hard. And unfortunately, I really don't want to go down this route. But bro, y'all remember how AC Milan was in the 2010s from 2017?
Yeah.
Inter Milan too, like bankrupt, almost. It took for
those 8 years. Yeah.
it took for someone else to come in, and
Damn near a decade, honestly.
yeah, bro. Unfortunately, I feel like that's just what we're.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's
I
a
mean-
great analogy, because a comparison, I should say, because, bro, if God forbid, 'cause honestly, I don't want Ten Hag to go. Like, I don't think he deserves to go, because I want to see you guys like at least be somewhere in the
You want to
mix,
see the good teams, be
right?
good.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. If let's say J Rad comes in, right? Let's say it gets sticky for let's say it gets sticky for Ten Hag, right? And they sack him, bro. I'm not gonna joke you. I can see that like a detrimental demise like that. I can see a demise like that, because the one thing holding you together, I feel like, even though he's kind of hurting you in the same sense as Ten Hag, like
For sure.
you need his presence there. And I feel like Graham Potter, if he comes in, he's gonna be a yes man, and he's just gonna do whatever higher ups say to do. I don't think, as a football manager, I just don't think he's there yet. I don't think he has the facilities for that.
Yeah.
And I think your team will get detrimentally worse. Like it will get a lot worse. Like Rashford will only get worse. You think this is bad? Rashford will only start walking more.
What's funny you say that, Gabriel? It's a sad that like he's one of our best players. Like that type of player, that caliber of player is what is holding us like this. You know what I'm saying? Like him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was just watching. We had Giggs and Bex and and Key.
Salam, you remember before the season ended last season, we were talking about if Mason Mount's about to leave, and I was telling you, I don't want to see him leave.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see one guy hold us hostage. You're not gonna.
Yeah.
No, if you want to walk out and leave. Like,
Yeah.
that's what y'all need to do at Rashford. I'm sorry.
No, I agree.
I used to defend him all the time. Now I'm watching him like, bro, you're not doing anything. You're not assisting. You're not creating. You're not, pressing. Nothing.
Weight on the pitch.
Nothing.
But it's hard though because last year we had to give him some sort of extension, and he was scoring. I think the problem was like the timing of like when he was scoring, we couldn't not give him a contract.
Absolutely. No, I agree.
But I said it like he's gonna get the contract, and then what? Back to
listen. These players know that when their contracts end up, when it's contract year. Listen,
Luke Shaw, I've seen it 3 times. Gets a contract. See ya.
Yeah,
3 months.
Him out. He bowed out 2 months to go because he's like, yeah, I'm not about to game for him in 2 months to get a contract. Yeah. So he's like, I might as well sit out for the rest of the season. Go do my surgery and just find a different situation.
Makes him out. I get it though, because I mean, like you've had guys like Hazard leave the club. It's
exactly.
It's not like and I feel you though, because it's like you guys were in a position though where you could get rid of him though.
No, but we were also in a position where I felt like really showed to us, okay, I want to be part of this, and he did. Sure. And I'm like, when you're in a situation like that, you don't need guys that are going to hold you hostage.
Yeah,
like, bro, just walk.
Even with Mount, though, man, I just be seeing him walk around.
I never thought he was a good signing for y'all.
No, I know what he's there. We all know what he's there for. He's
Bruno's backup. Let's be real.
The face fits.
Bruno's
backup. Number 7, bro. You yeah, bro.
The English boy.
Yeah, man. The face fits, man.
Yeah,
that smile, that fucking smile. Just real quickly, they play today. I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on Spurs. 8 points.
This is an interesting one.
Matters and so.
Look, man, I until and this is kind of how I am for all of our teams, bro. Mm-hmm. We got to see each other until they see a United or an Arsenal or
City.
Yeah, correct. They got to see everybody. Like for me, they got to see everybody because they're beating up on these lower teams, which is good. That United match, it was what it was. But first and foremost, let me take the hate to the side and say they have a manager. They got a real manager on their side, and it shows, bro. I mean, Madison and Son, that dynamic duo is looking crazy right now. Man. They're doing whatever they want to do on the pitch, and Son is beating the Kane allegations. People were talking about if Kane leaves, will he be able to do it? Man, that boy is looking elite again. He's looking elite again. Mm-hmm. So can they win the league? Yeah, it's possible. It's kind of just like Liverpool. It's possible. Do I see them winning the league? No, not yet. Kind of like what Salam said, they're one injury away as well. They have a little bit more depth, but I don't trust them fully. I still think Arsenal's better than them. Mm-hmm. I still think I know we're in a rough patch, but I think Chelsea could beat them or at least get a result. And then they still have to see City as well. So for me, I would love for them to see like a Newcastle. That'll kind of be my temperature gauge to where they're at right now. But no, shout out to Spurs, man. They're undefeated in the league still, and they have a manager.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I disagree with you, Kanois. Just because you say you want to see them like play everybody. I mean, they played us. They played Liverpool. They played. Well, they haven't played City yet. They play United. They tied us.
They played United at the right time, though.
They tied us at home. They beat United, and they beat Liverpool, and guaranteed, both games, but the United game and the Liverpool game were at home, but they still got results. And they tied us at home. This is I hate to say it, but I agree with one thing that you said, that they are injury away. If Madison will get his annual one, I hate to say it, but he'll get an annual one. It's every year. He always gets it, ankle or something. But until that happens, bro, this team will be flying. This team is flying right now. And I don't see where they're slowing down. I can't.
Yeah.
They came to the Emirates, and I think we low key gave it to them in a little sense, but they came out there with a point, just like we came out with a point this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see where this team is slowing down right now, and I would say where the injuries will be detrimental if they do get injured would be if a center back goes down or if Matters goes down. But like I'm talking about like just 6s and 8s. They have Busuma, they have Sarr, they have Højbjerg, they have I mean, I'm not gonna say Skip, but Skip can come in and do somewhat of a service. Like they still have depth in the midfield to get things going. My thing is up front. Now their front is where things will get treacherous. If someone gets injured, then if Madison or Son goes down, it's looking treacherous.
Yeah.
It's looking treacherous. But if they stay healthy, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. This team is smoke. This team is serious. Like, and one of the signing of the season for them is Van der Ven. That guy is not getting beat.
And their keeper.
That guy is one of the fastest players in the Prem. He's 6'6". Hey.
Yeah,
listen,
man. I low-key agree with both
serious,
of you, man. I agree with both of you. Like with Cornelius, I got to see more. I definitely got to see more because we've kind of seen them do this before the last couple of years. But this is what a team looks like, a team that's bought in. They've bought into what the manager's doing. They're playing for each other. Like, you can't even hate on that. But it's like, it's the Spurs, man. Come on. Let's wait and see it. Yeah. I don't know.
Let's wait and see. But I'm not gonna lie, they are flying.
I watch them and I'm like, how are we struggling? How?
But, I mean, they've played games where it could have gone either way,
and
they're just getting results, and that's the marquee of a championship winning team. Kind of like what Gabriel said, they played terrible against us this past weekend, but we're still able to scrape a point, at the bridge where we haven't been historically great. So, yeah, man, I think this Spurs team is good. I feel like Richarlison will be their X factor. He has to. He doesn't necessarily have to give you 8 out of 10s every match, but he has to be that guy. Because and look, he said it a few weeks ago. He mentally wasn't in the best spot. He got himself right, and for the last 2-3 matches, he's been on. Yeah, he's been on point. So I think he's their X factor for sure. They have a solid squad, top to bottom.
If he starts scoring, it's sticky, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If he starts scoring, bro, it's gonna be bad. Like, because you watched the match today. Kulusevski doesn't shoot. He doesn't even try and score.
Play today.
So he's just an assist guy. Like, Kulusevski's just an assist guy, really. Son and Madison are really who are scoring and creating the goals right now, to be completely honest. Son has 7 goals. I think Madison has like 4-ish or something like that, but Matt assists as well. If Richarlison starts scoring, we have a serious problem on our hands. I'm serious. I'm not even gonna be funny. Like, a serious issue. We have a serious issue. Like, it's gonna be bad, bro. It's gonna be bad. So you Cornelius, I agree with that. I think he is their X factor. But also, last thing I want to say about Tottenham is I want to see when they hit their rough patch. They haven't hit a rough patch yet. They've been flying, like kind of how we started off last season, just flying. Like, preseason looked good. Beginning of the season started off hot. We haven't seen them hit their rough patch. We haven't even seen them really play poorly necessarily in a game, like in a half. They haven't had a poor half yet. I want to see when that adversity hits them, even if they have everybody, when they just aren't there, what they have. I want to see that match, because this Chelsea match was it for me, and I was like, okay, we still got it, and we're not even 100. Players aren't even 100% healthy, but we're still there. I want to see, Tottenham, can they get a sticky dub? Can they get out some sticky situations? You know what I mean? So that's what I want to. I agree with this in the sense of that. Like, I do want to see them when they hit their rough patch. How will they perform and what results they'll get? Will they still get a couple wins? Obviously they'll lose, but will they get draws that they weren't supposed to? Blah blah blah. It's in the case, but I want to see that adversity. When adversity hits, who are they going to be? They're going to crumble like they have, or they fight through it? But I think they have the manager for it, though. I'll say that. I think they have the manager for
And
it.
I agree. And before we do our predictions, I just wanted to tap in, see how y'all felt about Villa. Just coming off a 4-1 win against West Ham on Sunday. They're sitting on 19 points right now in 5th place. They're another team that's a little dark horse.
Yeah, Loki don't want to talk about it.
Solid.
Loki don't want to talk about it because you keep telling yourself, "Oh, this is gonna wear off," and you don't see it wearing off. You know,
They have a solid team. They have a
They got a solid team.
They have a really good
Douglas
team.
Luiz finally turning up. I feel like this is his year. Like he's finally turning up.
They said for him, they said for him, I think it's like 7 consecutive home. Or no, I think. West Ham
goals. Yeah,
I think 7 goals and
at home.
7 at home or something like that. Yeah, for him, Douglas Luiz.
The
He's been
second
balling out.
games he scored. Yeah,
I'm so sad we didn't sign him when we were looking for a midfielder, bro.
Yeah, the midfielder, the Brazilian guy. Yeah,
bro, I'm so sad we didn't sign him, bro. I really wanted Douglas Luiz.
He's
When
solid,
we're in for him, bro, I was like all for it. I was like, please, we get him, we'll be good. Like we'll be
That
good
was
for sure.
Wasn't he the one that was? Nah, we don't need to go there.
I think I know what you're about.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not a thing anymore. So like he's playing well. So like, I don't know. It's backwards. But before y'all want to do, I had a question for all of you. Let's do predictions first. I guess this will kind of
go. Okay.
All right. So I was watching the Beckham documentary, right? And I was sitting there watching it with my wife, and I was telling her, like, we were at the part where he goes to Real Madrid. And I was telling her that, like, the guys that you saw there at Real Madrid, like, because up until that point, we only saw the United guys, right? Mm-hmm. But when you saw like the Real Madrid, when you saw Figo, when you saw Ronaldo, when you saw Zidane, Roberto Carlos, I was telling her, like, those guys were actually like the best, like
the best players, of the best,
probably ever.
The best of the best
ever.
Like I was like Ronaldo. She didn't know who that was. I was like, that arguably is probably the best player ever. And the guy next to him too.
It's probably the best player.
Like 2 of the best ever.
But like David Beckham, don't get me wrong, was a great player. Sometimes it's hard for me to quantify, like, how good was he though? Right, like you know, like how, like if we were to equate him to someone in today's game, there is a few names that I thought of. I just didn't know, like, are you taking? So I was gonna go first. I wanted you guys to come up with a name.
Okay,
someone you think is comparable to his level right now. It doesn't necessarily have to be like position. It could be like, you know, like, for example, like Declan Rice is as effective. Like they have the same output in terms of like their play, regardless of their.
Their That's position. Where I was actually gonna go. I was gonna go Declan's like closest right now.
I was gonna say like De Bruyne. Like
Dude, that's crazy. That's who I was thinking of. But I'm gonna go with Cruz. Like I think Cruz. They're very like technical.
Cruz is a good one.
They can hit a ball, but they're not really that physical, you know.
But Bex was scoring, bro. Like Beckham was giving you goals and assists, like
free kick specialist.
You know what I mean? Like he literally was the perfect center mid. The perfect center mid.
He wasn't even a center mid though. He was a right.
But like, I mean, you can call him a 10. You can call him a winger.
You could play anywhere in the middle.
He was really just like CDM, that perfect player. Yeah, like De Bruyne is who's coming to mind to me because. I mean, De Bruyne, if you think about his last couple of years, he started adding scoring. Mostly he was just an assist guy, but now he's adding scoring. Now he's adding everything to it. I don't know, man.
I would say like
we're putting them there. Like De Bruyne, De Beckham.
Yeah, I can see it. That was the first person I thought of, but then I was like, I don't know.
I don't know, bro. It's a tough question.
I feel like
that's a good one. That's a great question, though. Yeah, y'all comment if you guys have any players that you think like are comparable to Beckham. I mean, as far as different sport, but I was thinking Braun, man, like in the sense of
Bex.
Yeah, in the
sense of he can do everything, really.
In that sense, but also just off the pitch, bro. Like He was in
Oh,
the
yeah.
spotlight since he
Yeah.
was 16. He was dating, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if he lived in the social media era,
Yeah.
he would be
On
as
badness.
big as any other player in the world, any
Mhm.
sport, any person. Like,
Yep.
he was the guy, bro. He was that guy. Like, bro, everybody wanted. There was a movie called Bend It Like Beckham, bro. Like think
Facts,
about that.
though.
There's a
Nah,
movie
for
called
real.
Bend It Like Beckham when he was in
That's
his
my
prime,
point.
bro.
It's a specific aspect of the game that you're just like magnifying for him,
Mhm.
which is like ultimately it could decide a game or not. I feel you. But like if I were to say, let me give you another midfielder, for example. If I were to say like Yaya Toure, who would you say?
Deckers, actually.
I'll probably say
Yeah, it's all over
Rodri.
Or Rodri, yeah.
I don't know.
Like guys who are
Yeah.
just all over the pitch.
No, I'm saying like Beckham, Toure. You can throw Rodri, all them other guys. Where are they?
I think Yaya is like the perfect midfielder for me.
You
And
taking
He's a
Beckham-
perfect. He's a perfect. Yeah.
And honestly, that's probably the best comparison to
So you're taking Yaya over Beckham.
So
personally because he's African, but I think he was a little bit stronger. But that's tough, man.
So this actually takes me back to what you said in the group when you were watching that Brazil France game, bro. I look at that documentary and I'm like, bro, we do not have guys like this anymore.
You don't.
Like,
No.
we really don't. That Real Madrid team, I'm just like,
Yeah.
even the Real Madrid now, it's not even the same.
Yeah, it's not. Like those guys were like, could you
Established real men, like best players in their country, in their position.
Yeah.
And they never let off, bro. It was. I feel
Exactly,
like those guys are.
exactly.
It's never a let off. You know, it was
Yeah.
always like you're getting their best every single time.
I was like,
Yeah.
imagine Holland,
You're lucky to beat them. You know.
Holland with Mbappe, with Kimmich, and
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, exactly.
No,
Oh,
bro,
Actually,
best
Kimmich is a
players
shout.
on the same
Kimmich is a
team.
shout for Beckham. Honestly,
I don't
is
think
definitely
he's.
a
I don't
shout.
think talent wise he's that.
I like
To me, it's either De Bruyne
Kimmich-
or
Kimmich is-
Kimmich.
I
It's
see
one
what
of
you're
those.
saying.
proper professional. I fuck with Kimmich. That guy is a. I don't think he's
Ability wise though. Ability wise, I think Kimmich is there. Not like
I think he can do everything.
he can't play
but not
everywhere
as
all over
good
the
as-
pitch like him.
but not as good as Beckham. Yeah,
No,
you're
I
right. He
feel
can
like-
play in more spots.
If he scored more goals, we'll look at him different.
Yeah,
Kimmich,
if Kimmich scored more
yeah.
goals for sure. But I'm saying
For
like
sure.
Kimmich can kind of play, and we've seen
Yeah, he
Kimmich
can
right
play
back
anywhere,
before. You know, he can
Left
play
back,
anywhere.
left back,
Back line.
center back.
Yeah.
Technically, very talented captain as well. Can ping a ball here, there.
Hit
You
a
know,
ball.
set pieces. You
Mhm.
know, that's a good. I would say for that. Now he's not scoring as many goals for sure, but
Mhm.
as a complete package, I think Kimmich is definitely up there as well.
Okay.
Proper.
All right. Let's get into it.
Man, you're gonna have this in my head all night, trying to figure
Yeah,
out
I'm about to
who's,
say players, bro.
who's Beckham's comp.
we have a
Mhm.
no seriously. Comment below who your guys is.
Facts.
Who would be
That's a
Beckham's
tough one,
comp
bro.
with today's age? But we kind of went over. Let's just kind of get into the games. If you guys played midweek, Chelsea, Matt, you guys don't really have to say much because you don't really play midweek.
Oh,
Yeah, Champions
You didn't
League
have to
is
say
back
that. You
tomorrow.
didn't have
United,
to say that.
Yeah.
United. You guys see Copenhagen and then Sevilla versus Arsenal. Y'all got predictions for those?
A David Raya will
United
give
got
up
to
a
win.
goal.
I think United will win.
You said a David Raya goal.
He is going to give up a goal for sure.
Damn.
Just pass it to the strikers.
Anytime giving up a goal score.
Hold on, who are you guys playing, Arsenal?
We play Sevilla
Sevilla.
away from home. I actually think this is going to
Ooh,
be
that's a
super
good game.
sticky.
It's a good game.
It's going to
That's
be
a
tough.
1-1 type.
Yeah, this is like a 1-1 at most 2-1. Bet the under. I'm saying bet the under. Yeah, this is going to be a tough
It's a
one
real
going
test.
to Spain.
It's a real
Yeah.
test.
Because
Sevilla.
and this is the thing, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, your group is easy. It's like, no, it's not.
Not really.
Like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, yes, it looks easier on paper, but these
Paper.
teams are
Sevilla
like,
got European
yeah,
petedigree.
these teams are
Mhm.
weird. Like this Sevilla team is weird, bro. You know, Lens
Mhm.
is another just weird one, and there's away from home
Mhm.
or like these past two matches. So, you know, I think it'll. I mean, I don't know what lineup we're gonna come out with. I know we need to rest some guys for sure. But actually, we might not rest guys. We have an easier match on the weekend, but I think it'll be like a 1-1, 1-0 Arsenal win or draw. Arsenal win or draw. I'm going win or draw for us every game because that's all we do. We don't lose right now. So
I think 2-2. It feels like a 2-2 game.
1-0, 1-1.
I'm feeling 1-1. United, you guys see Copenhagen. What you feeling about that?
Yeah, big week.
GRG.
Yeah, we see Copenhagen.
GRG.
I think definitely need 3 points. This week's going to be tricky. And it's going to be tricky because we have a very pivotal Champions League match. And then we have the Manchester Derby on the weekend. So prepare yourself.
Where's the game?
It's in Manchester. So
This guy,
I
man.
know for a fact, I can tell you in a second.
Copenhagen though, isn't it
Dalot Trafford.
Rasmus's old team? No,
Yep.
Yeah, it
Atlanta.
is.
It was
Yep.
No, it is.
He
It
did
is.
play there. He did play
Yeah,
there.
he did
so
play there.
Yeah, Rasmus'
Boyhood club.
team, 2 games at Old Trafford. Hopefully, Rasmus, to be fair, has been good in Champions League, so I'm not really worried
He's
about
been
him.
good. He's been good this year.
Overall, yeah.
3 points against Copenhagen. We got to get the job done quick so that we can take some of these guys out and rest for the weekend. The game against Man City. So here's my thing, right? Guys like
slow.
and listen,
No, don't do
guys
this to us.
like
Come on.
listen, guys, and I don't want to point this person out, but guys like Harry Maguire have been talking about whenever I play into the team, my winning percentage is this amount. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but apparently this is a current player that plays for the team, and he's telling you what his statistics are. You talk about an insecure player, you don't have to look any further than that one. But I think, again, this is the game where I'm looking at who is going to step up against these big games.
MBE.
At Old Trafford, again, this is our first Premier League game since the passing of, I didn't even say it, I apologize.
I was gonna end with
Right,
that. I was gonna end with that.
Obviously, rest in peace for Bobby Charlton, but it's our first Premier League game at Old Trafford back. So I think that if you know the story about Bobby Charlton, Champions League and the Premier League were very big. So this should be a big week at home. That game, to be honest with you,
Bet the over. Bet the over.
He
please.
doesn't know.
3-1, 3-2. Either way.
Maguire and Evans do not start. Maguire and Evans, they cannot start. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 2-2.
I knew you're gonna go 2-2. Just go 2-2 and save. Just go 2-2.
Why are you lying to us, man? Come on. You don't even
Save
believe
space,
that.
bro.
Well, I know that. Listen, I know we'll score, and I know that we'll definitely concede. And also, too, I'm tired of these teams in the Premier League thinking that they're funny by sending us to the Stretford end in the first half. I'm peeping that shit.
That's crazy.
You guys don't do that.
That is crazy.
That's disrespect to football here.
Wait, what are they doing?
So the Stretford end is the way that the way that goes like from like east to west, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's like going this way. Like they call it the Stretford end. That's like where like the big like home
fans. Yeah. Okay. They keep sending you that way. The other way, second half.
Yeah. So like the thing is, like second half, it's like the Stretford end will help you get suck the ball into the net. That's what they say. I don't like this whole we're going. Hey,
They figured it out.
Yeah, but big week for United.
Yeah, and then I didn't say my second game, but we see Sheffield United at the Emirates on Saturday, 10 a.m. I'm just gonna go ahead and just call it GRG. We need to get back on track. I need Odegaard to get back on track. He needs a GRG, a personal GRG. But I think we'll get that one 2-0, 3-0. Good. Good. Just recentering match. Namaste. Recentering.
He said namaste.
We see Brentford at home over the weekend. This is a decent Brentford team. But
It's 1-3
given
now.
our recent form, I think this is also a GRG. That's a tough draw that we got this past match.
Frustration on the.
I wanna say 2-0. I honestly
You
want to
calling
say 2-0.
GRG?
Yeah, I'm with him too. I'm with him too.
I want that $40 when y'all lose though.
Oh man, no, I agree with him. 2-0.
I think this is a
I
must win.
agree. They're gonna come out after that result, bro. Especially at home. Come on, man. Y'all gotta do something about that. And
Y'all should. I mean, y'all should.
I'm glad we're getting Brentford.
I'm not super glad, but I think this is another game that we should get the 3 points.
I hear you.
Yeah.
One of my last comments. Shout out Declan Rice. Shout out Arteta. But also, don't buy Raya. Save the 30 mil. Put it into Tony. Give him that money that way.
Damn.
That's the last thing I gotta say.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Can you say the last part again? Just
Don't buy David Raya. Keep the 30 million that is the option to buy. So, or well, actually the 27 million because the loan was 3 million. So
yeah.
spend the 3 million, give him back, save the 27, put it on Tony, and bring him in.
And then bring Matt Turner back too. Shout out Matt Turner.
No.
I got two games.
Find a real second.
I got 2 games. What do you guys think about PSG, Milan, and Newcastle, Dortmund?
Wow. PSG
Yeah,
Milan. You know,
PSG.
Milan. I feel like 2 teams.
That group, man. That group.
Yeah, both of them have now looked pretty convincingly in Champions League.
Mm-mm.
I think it's easy to side with PSG just because of the their front three, but low key one of the best front threes in Europe if you think about it.
They looking suspect though.
Mbappe,
The league too.
They just can't keep goals out, man. That's the problem. They've never been able to defend, and but I'm gonna side with PSG.
PSG. And then it was Dortmund and Newcastle. Newcastle for sure.
Yeah,
Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Newcastle as well.
Dortmund's another shaky, like the most like suspect team of the century is definitely Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, no, but I just think that Newcastle just gonna bully them. That's how I feel. Like I just feel.
Tonali?
Yeah,
without they have Joel Linton. Listen, they're gonna come in and bully them, bro.
You think
he's gonna bully them?
You think Tonali bet on the game?
All right.
Come on, bro. Wrap it up.
All right.
So we don't draw. Hey, I need a draw.
Hey, wrap it up, bro. Where Dave Chappelle wrap it up box at?
Yeah, wrap it up. But to end again, rest in peace to Sir Bobby Charlton.
Facts, man. Facts.
606 games for United, which is insane. 600 plus games. And I was actually reading a little bit about him. He's one of only 9 players to win a FIFA World Cup, Champions League, which was I forgot what they called it back then, but one of 9 players to win World Cup, Champions League, and win a Ballon d'Or. So I mean that just goes to show. I mean, he's in very, very, very elite company. One of the best to ever do it. Sir Bobby.
Yeah, man. I remember you said it best. He was like, he scored so many goals, and they weren't even scoring like back then.
Bro, yeah, he was like to think about how many goals he scored. People are just now catching up to his record, bro. He played back in the 50s to 70s.
Yeah,
he played at United from I think like 56 to 73 is what I was reading. So think about that. Like people are just now 50 years later catching up to his goal record. And they wasn't scoring like they score now. Haaland just almost have 50 in a season. So like you got to put that into perspective. He was just banging goals.
Yeah, man. I think definitely a United legend. We all were way too young to watch him play. So, I've only seen like what everyone else saw. But definitely a legend to English fans, a legend to United fans, certainly. One of the few guys who was fortunate enough to survive the Munich air disaster when the plane crashed when they were coming back from a Champions League game, and later on won the European Cup after that moment.
Crazy.
That's so true.
Crazy. rest in peace to him. And yeah, man, I think that moment, which is what I feel like for United fans, what made the Glazers wanting to go into the Super League such a big deal. I think people have died on this flight for this competition, won this competition. We have tradition in this competition, and for you guys to try and pull that shit, I think says a lot. But rest in peace to him, man. And it's unfortunate that he had to, unfortunately, see us the way we are now. But,
I'm just impressed.
Rest in peace, man. Any shout outs to you guys?
Declan Rice, Arteta. Shout out Saka. Shout
Ukraine
out
Bolt, man. Shout out Mudryk. That's
Mudryk, man. Mudryk.
Shout out Poch for matching up Chelsea's lineup. Bless.
Yeah.
Bless.
Yo, shout out Gallagher, Enzo, and Caicedo. I thought they played well.
Shout out Sofian. Amrabizi. That's my dog.
Also, what's it called? Non our teams. Shout out, but shout out Joe Murphy. Guy balled out.
I was just about to say that. He's been balling, bro.
Goal, 2 assists. I mean, balled out. Shout out that man. He had a
guys like that. I don't know if y'all feel the same way. I just don't know what to think, man.
Yeah, I'm just like I
just don't know. Like right when I start buying in, you don't do anything.
It's a consistency with those guys. But he had a great match.
Shout out Bowen too, though. Bowen.
Jared Bowen, I think.
You already know.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised. Jared Bowen could be a United player next year. Watch.
What's the striker's name? Aston Villa.
Ollie Watkins.
We gotta stop talking about him, man.
Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, he's been balling out too.
I brought him up before last international break.
Arsenal's might be in for him, right? And I don't want that guy. And it sounds crazy because he's on this great goal run, but like I just watched their highlights, and it takes that guy 3-4 chances to score.
Yeah, bro. He can't score.
He had 2 clear chances before he got his goal. Like 2 clear ones. Like, nah, bro. I'm not watching you miss this and then gonna be happy. Like, nah, bro. I'm sorry. Nah, I don't want
you. You know what I love about us, but I think it's funny. We are the clubs we support, we want players that are like up here, right? But anytime we go back and look at some of the guys that play for us, they're not doing the things Ollie Watkins is doing.
Yeah,
but we don't want him.
I think kind of like what Salam says, like these hipster vibes. I think they need to be in that system for them to shine. You know what I mean? Like when I look at this Newcastle team, I'm looking at what Murphy's doing. I'm looking at what a lot of their players are doing. I'm like, y'all just fit here. Like the vibes are great. Like everyone knows their role. No one's trying to be better, than the other person. It's kind of just like a perfect fit for them.
Yeah, man.
I just think that he only looks good in one aspect of the game, when he has space in behind. You play for Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins.
Oh, Ollie Watkins, yeah.
Ollie Watkins, you drop him in Chelsea, you drop him in
I think he's for real, man.
When a team that sits back, what is Ollie Watkins going to do for you?
I was in limbo, but bro, I'm impressed. I'm not even gonna lie.
The guy scores goal. I'm still taking Jesus over.
No, but do I want him though? No, I don't.
I just I'm not sold, bro. I'm not sold, man. Anyone can go on this little streak, bro. I'm not sold.
I know you wouldn't do this at Chelsea. I just, it's like I like what I'm seeing, but when the pressure hits, I know you're not going to do this.
And if he gets sold, he's going to be a bag too, English tax.
Oh, yeah.
Going to be 60, 70 for sure.
They just got what? They just sold not Declan. What's his name? Grealish for 100. They might have another one in the pipeline.
Ain't no way, bro. If Ollie Watkins go for 100, or the world is
Cedar was 115.
I mean,
he's not even a $70 million player, dog.
You heard what Thomas Frank said. I mean, about Ivan Toney. He's like, well, I mean, we see what midfielders are going for nowadays. So, I mean,
yeah,
he's
going to understand it. But I could pay that for Toney. I know I'm getting 18 a season. I know that.
You will pay 100 for Toney,
bro. I give my bro.
Okay.
Yeah,
I need Ivan Toney on my team so bad. You have no idea, Mike. Like That's literally the missing Avenger. That's the missing Avenger on our team. When we
Would you
get
pay
Ivan
100
Toney,
for
we have all
Osimhen, though?
6 Infinity Stones, bro. I swear to you, bro.
You have
I swear to you.
Jesus and you have Eddie. These are the guys that you were saying, though. These are your guys. These are your guys. I know 2 episodes ago you said somewhere else, but I'm just saying.
Ain't nothing changed, bro.
Jesus?
Nothing. Listen, I've wanted Tony, bro. Jesus, he's done great for us. That guy does not score goals. Where was he? Where was he this past week? What did he do?
I'm not gonna lie.
Tell me where he was. What he did.
I don't know. I took anytime goal scorer. Where was he?
I'm not gonna lie. I do not want Tony on Arsenal. I'm not gonna lie.
Problem.
I don't want him on
A
Arsenal.
proper problem.
I don't.
That's the only place where I could see him like
doing really well. Yeah,
I can see him.
exactly.
I'm telling
I don't
you.
want him there.
20 goals a season incoming, bro. Guaranteed.
to-
On top of Saka's 10, 15, Martinelli's 10, 15, bro.
And
This
see,
guy
he's
Like I didn't want Declan.
He's
on
not
Arsenal,
too like
but-
naive to fall for a Chelsea or United. Like he's gonna go down the
Mhm.
Arsenal Liverpool route. Like he knows. He's
bro, he already said it. I'm either Arsenal or Liverpool is kind of like known now. Like,
well, I mean, it's just
these
a
are one
matter of
these two.
money, though.
The
I'm
money,
not worried
yeah,
about
the money.
Liverpool. I'm worried about you guys. Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't want him to go there. Yeah, I don't want.
And that's what I'm
Arsenal at
saying.
all.
And that's what I'm saying. Don't buy Raya for this 27 and put that into Tony. It's an extra 27 that you'll have now. It's an extra 27.
Bro,
We don't need Raya.
I wanted United to get Rice. Obviously, they went and got Mount. I mean, look at what it looks like. I knew Rice would be good for you. I just knew. There's some guys you
he
can
would've
just
been
see
good.
it.
He would have been good.
Same with Tony.
Proper.
Tony would be good for
Proper.
Arsenal, but
He would
I
have
don't
been
want him
good
on
for
Arsenal.
everybody, man. But that mean they were
That's
they were proactive, man. They were working on the deal for a minute, you know. So you gotta
We working on Tony too. Don't worry. Raya was just, hey, we want to see what this guy has, just to open up the talks. Relationship good, everything good though. He already said he wants Arsenal.
Ryan-
Well, gonna be
Ryan
good
wants
if
to
you buy
scare,
if you
Listen.
loan him and if you don't make it permanent, they're gonna look at you and be like, nah, you gotta take
Give us
we're gonna
100.
we're gonna look at them and then we're gonna give them 100 mil for Tony, 80 mil, 85 mil for Tony.
They'll
They'll
be
be
like,
like,
that's
"Ah, okay."
fine, but
And they have their
he's
keeper
short
back.
27 million for bruh because he has to go.
Nah. They brought him in just to scare Ramsdale.
They
for
want
sure.
him out, bro.
They brought him to
I
scare
want
Ramsdale.
Raya. I'm
If I'm
Raya out
Ramsdale-
right now for sure. Right now.
Yeah.
Bro, imagine leaving
Well,
Brentford and
Ramsdale's
you're starting
going
for
down
Arsenal. Just like what?
You-
What?
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? So there's a clip today that came out, and it was you know how when Ramsdale first lost his spot, he was walking behind the goalkeepers and
Slouching.
slouching,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Ever since Raya started messing up, guy's been clowning, he's been trolling. The guy today, right? They're at training. He was walking behind for a second, and then everybody else was walking. He ran up to him like, "I'm here, guys. I'm here. Like
Yeah.
we're all together. We're a group." I'm like, "Yeah, he's back, bro. He's back. Give me my guy back, man.
He
Listen,
knows.
Sevilla will be testing. I can't wait till tomorrow, bro. I can't wait to see this guy go back to Brentford, bro. I want this guy to go back to Brentford. I'm not joking. Go back to Brentford, please. I need Aaron Ramsdale on my team. That's how I feel, bro. That's it.
Damn, y'all play Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Weak
Wednesday, man.
ass games, man. Oh no, you play Tuesday. Never mind.
Tuesday, bro.
Yeah, man. Kind of went over, but good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good stuff, guys. A lot of good stuff coming at you guys. So, as always, appreciate you guys for tuning in. And good luck to you and your future endeavors.